Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the VIP podcast. I am so excited you're here hanging out with us, and we've got an incredible guest lined up for you, and I can't wait for us to get into it. We were talking to Zac Franz from ePay Policy, and he's got so many cool things that we can get into, and I can't wait to do that for you. And I just hope that you'll sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. Let's get into it. So, Zac Franz, welcome to the VIP podcast. As I like to call it, the VIP Lounge. You're our very important guest. And
Thank you all for having me.
Yeah, excited. We're looking to get some velvet ropes in here one day and make it really official and maybe pop some champagne here and there. It's going to be really good. If we can get that passed through HR. But
I mean, I don't know about the velvet ropes. We could definitely get the champagne.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I got the bottle of wine y'all sent me right here. But
nice. There you go.
We sent foam fingers and a koozie. And
That's
a bottle
right.
of wine. I
love
like it.
Yes.
I did get swagged out with all my Vertafore
Ooh,
swag.
for those who are
Look at
not
that.
watching on YouTube, which you should be.
You should be.
You missed the amazing orange foam finger and orange coolie.
Okay.
Koozie.
I've got,
Koozie.
wow. Yeah.
Yes,
So I've
too
got,
early.
normally I want to start these off with a good icebreaker question, but with you, because you came in and you surprised Sid with the foam finger and everything, I got two questions for you.
Shoot.
We're starting in hot here. Okay. First question. What is your guilty pleasure?
I love to sing.
You love to sing.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm like in the car. Music is so loud, and I am like anybody who rides with me on a road trip. I'm like, just fair warning, you can ride with me, but it's going to be loud. It's going to be on my music, and I'm going to be singing.
I love that.
I do love that.
Shower too, or just in the car?
No, although there are some good bathroom acoustics for sure, like in the with got the tile floors and stuff.
You're right. Nobody sounds better than they are in the bathroom.
That's so true. Not even Red Rock Stadium in
Right?
Colorado can compete.
No,
With
not,
the-
Ooh,
not
I've been
the
there.
shower curtain.
You've
sorry.
been there. Who did you see at Red Rocks?
I saw the Turnpike Troubadours
I
and
love
Reckless
them.
Kelly and Shovels and Rope, and it was on that night a couple years ago where it was like the full blood moon out there. So you
Oh,
had this
wow.
full
It was
moon that's like
beautiful.
blood red. It was so cool.
Jeez.
That
That's,
is.
Yeah,
that's cool.
There were a lot of photos on Facebook for that one.
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
Oh, I bet. Okay, so you seem like a guy that can give a good presentation. And so my question would be, if I gave you 20 minutes presentation with no preparation at all, and you can't talk about ePay, what would your presentation be about?
Probably about TV shows written and created by a guy named Michael Schur. For those that don't know, Michael Schur is the kind of main creator of shows like The Office, Parks and Recreation, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place, just a ton of my favorite
a very
shows.
specific genre,
That
and what
is.
his comedy is.
Have you
know.
seen all of these?
I have many, many times, several rewatches for each.
So would you
love
say
it.
you have a dry wit sense of humor then?
I do, and I think there's like it's like compulsive. If I have an opportunity to put a quote from like one of the bits in that show into like a normal conversation, then I just have to say it. I'll say it, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
No, I think
control it.
it's great. And I should send you a link to a video that Chad, actually, our producer, made that was an Office spoof in our, Vertafore.
Yes, please.
And I don't know where that would be, but we got to
Yeah,
send
I
that
can
to
do
him.
it.
Like
It was wonderful.
Like an
actually.
Electric City, Scranton kind of thing.
It was a
music video?
Scranton. It was
Absolutely the Office spoof.
yeah, it was an Office spoof.
Nice.
Scranton, like around. It was really good. But
That's good.
Yeah, so I'll send that to you since you like that kind of stuff.
He looks like he would be in an episode of The Office. I mean,
I don't know how you should take that, but there
Yeah,
you
it
go.
depends on who.
Not
Yeah.
Dwight. I won't give you Dwight. Though.
No, I was thinking just like a one-off character. But like, what am I doing? Am I making somebody mad? Am I
there
helping
you
somebody
go.
out? Am I solving a problem? What? I think that
you would,
depends.
I think you would be the asinine client that just has the most ridiculous requests.
I will say before we get too deep into this conversation, I'm not a big Office fan, so I'm sorry, but there is a scene that I've watched on YouTube 100 times of you've seen them all. Then when Dwight and Jim and Michael are in the office and he's talking to him about sales calls, And
Yeah.
Dwight's having to do like a role play with Jim, and Jim's just messing with him the entire time.
White liquor, our prices have never been lower.
Oh my gosh, it's
Yes.
exactly what you were talking
Never,
about.
you
Didn't
never
miss a
yell at
beat.
the customer, Dwight.
Yes.
Never yell at the customer.
Oh my gosh, I cry laughing.
That is gold.
Every time. I use that in sales presentations sometimes. It's so good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so speaking of sales presentations, and speaking of, this is a clunky transition, but we're getting into it. We're obviously in a hard market. People are tired of hearing about it, but it's just what it is. But from your perspective at ePay, what trends are you seeing from your perspective within the hard market, and how are agents navigating through that portion of things? Because there's a lot going on with commissions and with rates going up, and there's cancellations. There's a lot going on. So what are you guys seeing and doing, and what trends are going on?
There is a lot going on, that's for sure. Kind of the biggest thing I've noticed over the last couple of years is this increased need for financing options. Cash is king for everybody's business, not only for the insureds, the payers paying at the end of the day, but also the business who's got to have that float and that cash flow, in their accounts. So having financing options has been really important. I've seen a lot of companies make a big push for that lately. You've got a lot of major carriers pulling out of places like Florida, California, Louisiana, those kind of coastal places that can get hit by, hurricanes or wildfires or just those extreme weather events we're starting to see more frequently. So there's a lot of growth in the E&S market to kind of fill that gap, and we play very well in the E&S market, kind of the agency bill space. I did bring some data here, so I'm going to reference my note. Yeah. I prepared.
Nice.
So like the price of a single family residential home, the construction materials for that are up 33% since the start of the pandemic.
That's crazy.
And then contractor services are up another 27%.
That's true.
So we've seen a huge push by companies, all sizes, agencies, MGAs, especially carriers, just to move to that E&S market in an attempt to control risk. Mm-hmm. And so that agency bill infrastructure has become essential, both for agencies and for MGAs. When you are relying more heavily on MGAs and wholesalers to kind of take on those previously placed policies, in a lot of cases, the MGAs require agents to manage that billing, and then they're transferring any payment-related risk to those agents. So agents have got to have the infrastructure to take on this agency billing option too. That's becoming more of a necessity for everybody.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And what I would love I want to see if you could probably do this. I know you can. You were in inside sales. Give the audience your elevator pitch, that 1 minute elevator pitch of like what ePay policy does for MGAs, for agents, and just kind of give me that real quick, just so we can have context as we continue through.
Oh man, it's short in a minute. We're now an entire accounts receivable and accounts payable platform specifically for the insurance space. And all we do is automate and streamline those manual processes associated with collecting payments, reconciling payments, making payments, to put more time into, I guess, focuses on MGAs this episode. So it's allowing people to go be humans and do the stuff we can't automate, and just putting more time for those folks to go be general agents.
Awesome. Thank you. And that is the interesting point. Yes, we are focused on MGAs, but agents are the ones who are using MGAs, and carriers are working with MGAs. So you're kind of touching every avenue that we work with. So, good job.
It trickles down.
It does.
Yeah, and that's the really unique thing about ePay, is that we do have customers at every segment of the space. We actually started servicing premium finance companies because one of our founders owned a premium finance company. They created this tool for themselves and some other premium finance company folks that they knew in the business. Through that, like the agents going to make payments to those premium finance companies, they're like, whoa, this is really easy to pay you guys online. Can we get something like that? And then it started booming in the agency space. The MGA space and the carrier space were short to follow. So I think we've got probably 50% of the MGAs in the country are signed up with us, about 300 or 400. We work with 8,000 unique places here, and that's mostly independent insurance agencies. There's carriers, premium finance companies. But ePay is at a really unique space in the middle of all these customers, and we're integrated into all of their solutions at each space, in the premium finance space, the wholesale MGA space, and the agency space, and the carrier space. And those integrations are into Vertafore systems.
So can you tell me about some of the custom solutions that you guys have developed that are specific to brokers and really MGAs?
Yeah. So in the last couple of years with ePay, we've gone kind of beyond just payments. Payment processing is kind of old news. It's like, yeah, we can do credit cards and ACH, but everybody can do that now. So
Yeah.
what are you doing for me lately?
Right.
ePay has taken in, like we hold an innovation summit where we'll have a lot of our customers come into our office and talk to us about challenges they're facing in their business and needs that they have that, ePay has the opportunity to bring value to, because we sit in that unique place inside of between all these integrations at the different levels of the space. We can start to share data from these different places to better inform things like policy lifecycle management decisions somewhere else. And so it's led us to create things beyond just payments. I'm going to get to it. We've got an integrated premium financing option now. So ePay works with like 60 or 70 premium finance companies already. We're not doing any of the financing. We're just connecting you to one of our customers that you already work with. So we're connecting you so you guys can offer premium financing right on your page. And what that does is eliminates the need to go fill out all these forms, because we've got the data in the management system. We can just take that and through our integration, shoot it to the premium finance company. For those policies that qualify, we return a quote.
So
Wait,
just,
let me go. I know
So
you're
just-
on that wavelength.
so just on
That's
the
just one of
integrated-
like 3 or 4 too. I got more to go, but
No, we're gonna pause you there because if you don't,
yeah. This is exciting.
So, well,
one.
I just want to understand. So the agent knows they're working. The screen that they're working out of is ePay policy essentially. Like you're not forcing them to go to 6 different places. The idea is you're bringing all the financing, all the options, whether it's financing or what ACH, whatever, into ePay. Period.
We're bringing all the options in there, correct?
And then you're
so you get to
handling-
display the premium finance company of your choice on your ePay page.
But like, does it look like a lending tree or like a rater? Like you're shopping all the
no,
rates?
so it's not a
Okay.
marketplace. It's not.
Okay.
It's not like 10 different premium finance companies choose whoever's the lowest, right? It's the premium finance company that this agency has a relationship with, that you probably worked with for a
Yeah.
number of years. Because they use ePay, we can just send the data we're pulling from your management
Well-
system, the invoice data, to that premium finance company, and then return the
I
quotes.
just gave you $1 billion idea you can go back to management with. You need to have a marketplace where you can show them all and shop them all right there.
There's some interesting options out there for a marketplace. We work with too many premium finance companies that I don't think that our customers would be super happy about us creating a big race to zero
That's a good point.
with like 10 or 15 different options. So what we want to do is help you maintain those relationships that you already have with the premium finance company of your choice. And we do have some options for dynamic routing. So if you use a couple of them and you're like, well, my E&S lines of business go through this premium finance company and my personal lines go through this premium finance company, we can set that up to where based on lines of business, it can show one or the other.
Man, this guy's ready. I tried to stump him there with that. You nailed it. All right. So you said you had more.
Yeah, so we've also got a solution for payables, which we developed some OCR technology for another product that I'll get into as well. But this OCR technology, optical character recognition, allows us to take in a statement from an MGA or carrier, scan it with this optical character recognition. We pull off all the relevant policy and invoice information from that statement. We then look inside of your management system, your Vertafore system, and we say, hey, we found all these invoices that kind of match what you owe on this statement here. And then we've created a reconciliation tool to pair those up super easy. So instead of having to go line by line, okay, what do I owe? Where's this matching up? Is this the right amount? Is that what it's for? No, ePay can connect usually about 95% of those things right away. And it shortens the reconciliation you got to go do for that statement to like, depending on the size of your statements, but like 5% of what you were going to have to do previously.
Wow.
So that's
a
what
big
we're in the
headache for a lot of
business
agencies.
Can I just get
Man,
that
it
for my
is
normal
huge.
life?
Yeah.
My normal life.
Yeah. No,
And
that's a big solution that for a challenge a lot of agencies have is reconciliation.
Yeah. And in the hard market too, like you're looking to make the most out of your time with the folks that you have. So giving somebody the power to go be a general agent, go do the things that we can't automate is what I'm trying to get at. So like we just shrunk that thing that might take you 5 hours every week. We just shrunk it to 15 minutes. What else could you do with that time? What is that worth to you?
Yeah. You could work on your singing in the shower.
Right? Oh my God, I'd be on tour by now. No, I keep getting on asked or invited to these podcasts, which is so cool. But I'm on like 1 or 2 on Spotify, and I'm like, man, this isn't the way I wanted to make it on Spotify. But I'll take it.
Right. That's hilarious. Do you have any other ones you wanted to highlight?
Yeah. So in addition to those solutions, the original thing that we had built that optical character recognition for is a product that we call Checkmate. So, and it might not be for all of your agencies that, you're getting 40, 50 checks a month, and then you implement a solution like ePay, and then boom, that shrinks to 4 or 5 checks a month. But we've been in this business a long time, and no matter what, you just can't force people to pay the way that you want to pay them to, or you want them to. We would love everybody to go digital. There's still some holdouts that for some reason or another are writing checks. I don't understand it, but we don't want our customers to have to deal with it. So what we did is we created a lockbox solution where we can actually have all these checks sent to ePay, different locations across the country.
Wow.
We'll intake them, scan everything that comes with them.
Interesting.
And then guess what? We also match that up to what we find in your management system for the invoices. So we can reconcile those checks with the same reconciliation tool that we've got for Payables Connect, match these up with about 95% of accuracy. So again, we're shrinking. If you're having to manually reconcile 300, 400 checks a month, even though you still have a digital payment solution, but let's say you're a massive top 100 agency and you're still getting hundreds of checks every month, we can cut that in half. Or not in half, we can reduce that by like 80%.
Jeez.
That's incredible.
That's really smart.
Like let us deal with it. Let us automate that. We can make it so it's not a manual process, again, to give you more time to go do the human stuff we can't automate. That's my soapbox. That's what I'll be on all episode, is we're just here to give people more time.
What would you say when you look at the payment space? And this is it's so funny because I talked to being a part of the 101 Weston Labs, which is an InsurTech accelerator started by the North Carolina Association. There was a payments company that came through, and interesting product. They had two products that they're building. One's in the claim space, one's in the payment space. But I look at that product and I say, man, you're kind of running uphill at this point because the payment space is so saturated. You've got ePay and Ascend, and when you look at the market, where would you say ePay is? Do you feel like you guys have I think you have a pretty strong foothold. It also seems like you're still innovating. But how do you stay ahead of these, these products that are popping up that are saying, "Oh no, we're gonna, innovate faster than ePay, or do things a little different than ePay, or whatever it might be"?
Well, competition is going to bring out the best in everybody, right? So it's always good to have competing products in the market. But that's kind of what you mentioned. You said, "How does ePay stay ahead?" That's exactly where we are. Is we're ahead of folks because if there's still people popping up trying to figure out payment processing, it's like, look, payment processing is easy. It's pretty simple to take credit card and ACH online. The secret sauce, what makes ePay so successful, is the integrations. And it's our integrations and our partnerships. So being integrated at every aspect of the space allows us to go beyond payments and start creating these new solutions like Finance Connect, like Payables Connect, like Checkmate. And these are solutions or things that our customers are telling us, hey, we need this. We have the time where now we've afforded ourselves the ability to go beyond payments. We can hold these innovation summits. We can talk to our customers. We can go on site. We can visit. We say, what are you struggling with? Like we know we got your credit card and ACH on lock. What else can we help you with? We have all this valuable data. We have an integration to your management system. We have an integration to your premium finance company. What else can we do for you? And so while everybody else is trying to catch up on payments, we're past that. We're beyond that.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. Like, people know that, what you just said. Like, we're beyond this thing. How do you get that message out there, and how do you have people see you for beyond just payments, beyond just what ePay came to the market for? Now you've got so much more broad offering. I didn't even know about these things, and we integrate with you. Yeah. How do you get that message out?
It's so hard. It's so hard.
I love the honesty.
Yeah, it really is. Because, I mean, I work with a lot of our partners on marketing stuff, too. So, like, you can market, you can do whatever. We're literally we held a webinar a month or two ago where our head of product is going through talking about, how to do this and what the options are and everything. And then people are still in the chat asking questions of things that he's literally talking about. And so it can be hard to get the message across sometimes. Yeah. We've been in the space for a long time. Everybody just sees us as a credit card and ACH, but in the last 3 years, we've gone so far beyond that. And so it's a really important thing to be catching up with you guys and with the Vertafore team so that you guys know what we're up to, because you guys are talking to these customers too. And at the end of the day, these are our mutual customers, right? We want to bring value to them in any way we can.
100%. I would love to hear from you, maybe a bottom shelf kind of thing, because I'm from Arkansas. I need it slowed down a little bit. But if you could talk to me bottom shelf of, give me a good use case scenario that you could have the audience be like, oh, I get it. Like from MGA to agency, like how the integration works. Like, what's a good use case you could walk us through to be like, oh, here's a light bulb moment. I can understand it better from some
Like
of the other
how
solutions.
Somebody would just take a payment, or
Like beyond just payments. Some of these solutions you're talking about, like beyond just
Okay.
payments.
So, like, take Checkmate as the first example. Now you're like, hey, I have taken that step. I've done digital payments. I've implemented that in my agency, and I went from getting 100 checks a month. Now I'm only getting 25, which is great. About 70 people of my payers have adopted digital payments. So there's still that 25 checks coming in that is kind of a pain in the butt. Like, to go and reconcile, and you're like, God, I'm so frustrated. I wish I had something for this too. Right? Because like I've done 70% of the work. I thought I was going to solve everything, but like typically any digital payment solution is not going to capture all those folks. So then we went and built Checkmate so that we can collect those and we can eliminate that process. And so the payments are just coming into you like they're a digital payment, like your normal integrated payment would. Comes into your system and it says, hey, we found this invoice in your system. We got a payment for that from the same person.
Yeah.
This looks good to us. Do you want to just approve it real quick? So there's one example with like the Checkmate solution, how that would work. The big thing I think that's going to apply to the most people is the integrated premium financing
Yeah, I
options.
love
Because
that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's some other solutions out there like Ascend, or there's I think IPFS and stuff, that's great if you use Honor Capital or only IPFS. But there's a lot of other folks out there that have relationships with these premium finance companies that you've been working there with that person for 20 years, and you don't want to throw that away just so that you can try and keep up with the next best thing. So what we've done is we want you to continue those relationships, but we can connect you with who you want, including Honor Capital or hopefully IPFS here coming up. Like, we want to get you guys connected with all these people. We're 60, 70 premium finance companies on the ePay platform today. I think AFCO, Honor, People's Premium, I think Agile, Cap. There's a lot of folks that are already live on there that are options to do. If we aren't working with your premium finance company, we would love to. So just do a little intro for us.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more about why you guys chose the pricing model that you did. Because now that I'm thinking through, like Ascend, I think they push the payment off to the cost off to the customer. So their product is actually free for agents, but there's a little bit of a percentage bump on there's a tax essentially, right, on every transaction that runs through their platform, and that's how they monetize their product. You guys went with a license model instead of that transactional, monetization model. So what was the thought process on that? Do you remember? Were you a part of that, decision?
I was
early
not,
on?
but
okay.
I was not. But transparently, and just across all kind of payment processing, whether it be in insurance, fintech, or like really anywhere you go, the payment processors traditionally are making their money off of a little bit of the transaction fee. So that is the typical way to go. There's also typically a subscription fee included. We believe that our product is best in class. We really do deliver more than just payment processing. So we do charge, the only cost of the agent is either $25 if you're not integrated, or $50 if you are integrated per month. We're pretty good with giving everybody a free trial so they can test it out, make sure it's going to work for them. There's no penalties to cancel. There's no contracts with ePay. And we retain 98% of our customers. So when folks get on board, they seem to like us and find that it's worth whatever they're paying per month. But yeah, that's the only thing people pay with us too, is that monthly cost. All the transaction fees and all that stuff is kind of pushed on to the payer. That's the beautiful thing about being a third party processing the funds, is we can push that off to the payer within compliance, so that nothing's coming out of our agents' commissions.
Wait. So you're saying there's a license fee monthly, but there's also a transactional fee that gets pushed off to the agent's client, or there's just the standard banking fee?
Somebody's got to pay the credit card fee, right?
Right.
There's 3.5% on that.
I'm saying there's more on top of that with Ascend, though.
So it's like a per.
Right. So like, let's say the bank.
That's not the way that we operate.
Yeah. So let's say there's a bank fee of 3%. They would make it 4%, and then that 1% is right. So that's interesting though, because it's free for the agent, and then the agent
seems a little tough to reconcile.
Tough to reconcile, and also interesting to navigate what that does with the customer, what that does with the client, right? So, but with your model, the issue is, well, the agent has to pay the price for the customer's experience, and so I think it's just it's interesting that we have two payment solutions with these two completely different models, and I don't think there's a right answer, right? I mean, I think it's really just what.
Let me help add some context here, Sid.
Yeah, go ahead.
So a $25 a month cost, if you're receiving more than 3 checks at your agency per month, it's going to make sense fiscally for you. The benefits are going to outweigh the costs. Here's how I know that. Bank of America did a study that looked at everything, and they said, hey, for each check that your agency is processing, for the time spent in the mail, the paper materials cost, the cost of your employee having to manually reconcile and write that, they found that every check you're accepting is costing you between like $7 and $8. And so when I do the simple math, if you're getting 3 or 4 checks and it only costs $25 to use ePay, you're getting the same amount of value out of it, and then you're not having to deal with the checks.
Right.
And I think a lot more people, or most people, are getting more than 3 or 4 checks every month.
Right.
So I think it's pretty easy to justify the cost. We really want folks to use it, right? We don't want people to just sign up and then forget about it and never touch it again. Maybe if you're paying a small monthly fee, you're going to all right, let's get on that, and there's more incentive to implement it into your workflows.
Interesting. Cool.
Awesome. As we wrap up, I mean, I wanted to get into, just again, back to your soapbox. Talk to me a little bit about more of, giving that time back on the MGA side with the solutions that you have. If you wanted to stand on that for a few more minutes and shout from the rooftops, anything else that we missed on that portion of it? Because I think that's huge, because again, that's time is money. And if you can save that time, whether it's from an underwriter standpoint or from, even management standpoint, how are you guys doing that? What else would you love to share on that?
I think really ePay is as simple or as robust as you want to make it, right? So we can stand up a simple payment processing thing for you. If you're getting 5 checks a month and you're done dealing with that, you have one client that's just harping on you to give me a credit card option forever, and so you just want to maybe silence them a little bit, we can help you out. We also work with about 60 to 70% of the top 100 agencies in the country, and we're doing a lot more for them than just payment processing, right? We're doing Checkmate, Finance Connect, we're doing Payables Connect. So it has the ability to scale both from your mom and pop shop who just needs a really simple solution with a payment link they can shoot to somebody who wants to use their credit card, all the way up to a top 100 agency or a carrier and MGA who's looking to gain those operational efficiencies from implementing some of these other features that are beyond just payments, right? And to really take advantage of what ePay has with our position and integrated into different solutions and our visibility into the data.
And I also like and I don't think we've gotten into this a whole lot, is the customization piece of it, where you can, almost white label it for them.
Yeah, it's as customizable as you want to make it, right? If you've got your own there's different integrations that we can do. There's different portals that we can integrate into that are customer service portals. There's really no end, and there's 4 different ways to integrate with us depending on what kind of functionality you want to take advantage of. So it's like an a la carte or all included. It's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah,
that's what I like about it.
So I'm curious, just because, what is the most common oversight that you surprise people with when it comes to what you guys offer that they would have never thought of in their business?
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people realize that there's a little bit of work that needs to be done to get people to adopt everything, right? To get your payers to transfer over to this new way of payment. Something that ePay does really well when you take advantage of one of our integrations is that in most of our Vertafore integrations, we have a feature called invoice notifications. So because we can see into the management system, we can see this invoice is coming up. Well, we also know when the due date is. We've also got the email for that payer. So what we can do if you choose to is we can send a notification out that says, hey, you've got an upcoming invoice due in a week. Click here to pay it. We can give them a little link that'll take them right to the page so they can make that payment super easily. And that greatly improves the adoption of this. It cuts your ramp time in half.
That's awesome.
So that's a big one. And really just all the cool things you can do with integration, right? I talk to people and they're like,
Huge.
oh, well, I'm using
That's huge.
you guys. We love it. I'm like, cool. What management system? Like AMS 360. It's like, great. Are you guys integrated? It's like, we can integrate? Like, yes, you can integrate. Oh my gosh. So just that goes back to kind of the marketing thing, right? Like you can say it a million times, but until you sit there and talk to somebody face to face, sometimes they don't see it, and you gotta let them know, like, hey, we can do all these extra things for you, and then it can change lives in the right circumstance, right? Like if you're taking that reconciliation time at the end of the week down from 5 hours to 15 minutes, well, boom, now somebody can go get to their kid's soccer game on Friday afternoon.
Right. Yep. 100%.
Yeah, definitely. And I hate to wrap up, but on behalf of of Doug from the Orange Partner Program and Kelly from MGA, and Sid and I, thank you so much. And Chad, we appreciate you coming on and sharing some great information about ePay, what you guys are doing. And audience, thank you guys for being here too. And we'll talk to you soon. Man, what a great episode.
Dude, that was fire.
Yeah, you always like those. I always like the ones that give me heartburn, the spicy episodes.
The spicy ones?
Because we got some great guests that we had to share their opinions. We had to get that out there.
Well, and listen, that's not the last great guest we're going to have. We got so many more lined up this season.
You got to come back every single time.
Go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, or make sure that you follow us on your favorite podcast channel.
So come back next week, hang out with us. We got another amazing guest. See you on the next one.